Good morning, Prep 1. Today we are going to take novel, chapter 11 and 12. Passepartout has no money. The Carnatic left Hong Kong on 7th November at 6:30 in the evening and sailed at full speed towards Japan. The next morning, the men on deck saw, with some surprise, a passenger with an unwashed face and hair in complete disorder come out from a second-class cabin onto the deck and fall into a chair. It was Passepartout. The Carnatic, he cried, as if in a dream. So Passepartout got up from his chair. The sea was rather rough. Then he gave the officer a description of Mr. Fogg, saying that there was a young lady with him. But the officer told him that there was no young ladies on board. Passepartout looked at the list, and his master's name wasn't there. Then he remembered everything happened, and how the hour of sailing had been changed, and he was going to tell his master, and it was his fault. When the first terrible moments of his discovery had passed, Passepartout grew calmer and began to examine his position. It was on his way to Japan. On the morning of 13th, the Carnatic reached Yokohama, and Passepartout felt frightened, but he got off the boat. There was certainly one thing that he could do. He could go to the French and the British consuls. While he was thinking matters over, he saw in front of him amusement hall, a company of Japanese acrobats. So Passepartout went inside the building and found a position with this company of Japanese acrobats. During the show, Passepartout came in with the first group of acrobats. The music began to play, and great was the admiration of all people. Suddenly, the pyramid began to shake. It was Passepartout's fault. He jumped down from the stage and fell at the feet of a gentleman who was watching, crying, "Oh, my master, my master." After that, Mr. Fogg listened to the story coldly and didn't answer. But he gave his servant enough money to get some new clothes. Now we are going to read the summary of chapter 11. Passepartout has no money. Passepartout was found sleeping on the floor on steamer Carnatic. He fell down on the ground. Hours later, he fought to walk up and walked hardly towards the Carnatic and fall on board. Then he stood up and walked on the ship searching for his master and the lady, but he found no one. Passepartout walked in the street. He didn't know where shall he go. He didn't know. He thought that he had to find a job because he was hungry. Finally, he saw a note about Japanese acrobat last performance before leaving to America. He went inside and met the master, who asked him if he can do some acrobat. He answered yes. Okay, the warrant had now become useless. Explain. After the warrant had come, it became useless because Mr. Fogg was out of the English law. Number 2, comment. We have no young ladies on board. It was said by the officer of the Carnatic to Passepartout when he asked him about Aouda. Now we are going to take chapter 12, crossing the Pacific Ocean. The boat was carrying them from Yokohama to San Francisco with the General Grant, which belonged to the American Steamship Company. It was a large steamer. During the crossing, nothing in particular happened. 9 days after leaving Yokohama, Phileas Fogg had gone round exactly one half of the world. On the 23rd November, Passepartout made a discovery that brought him great joy. It will be remembered that his watch kept London time. When Fix reached Yokohama, he left Mr. Fogg, whom he expected to meet again later in the day, and went immediately to the British Council. There he found the warrant. But Fix said to himself, "The warrant is of no use here, but it will be of use in England." After having made up his mind, he went to the General Grant and was there when Mr. Fogg and Aouda came on board. But today, towards the front of the ship, he suddenly met Passepartout. Without saying a word, Passepartout jumped on Fix and beat him. Then Fix went on, "Mr. Fogg seems to be going back to England. I will follow him. That is my plan, and I have changed it. Now I am going to help Mr. Fogg as you." Now we are going to read the summary of chapter 12. Crossing the Pacific Ocean. The boat was going to take them from Yokohama to San Francisco. It would cross the Pacific Ocean. Nothing strange happened on those days, only Aouda's feelings towards Mr. Fogg changed to be only respect but love. When they reached Yokohama, Mr. Fix went directly to the British Council. He found the warrant. It was following him from Bombay, but it became useless as they were outside the reach of the English law. He thought that the warrant would be useful in England. He would follow him and arrest him in England. Then he went back to the General ship. Then he saw Mr. Fogg, Aouda, and Passepartout. Later, Passepartout met Fix. He jumped on him and started to kick and fight him. Then he got cooler. Fix started to talk to him. He told him that he was going to be by his master's side instead of being his enemy. What did Fix tell Passepartout about what happened? He told him that he was going to help him till he reached England. Passepartout and Fix had the same goal of helping Mr. Fogg explain. Mr. Fix wanted to arrest him in England, and Passepartout wanted to help his master to win the bet. Okay, thank you.